Welcome back, Mushroom Man Toad here, and today we are back on the Iron Platform, and that means it is once again time for another update of the Vimion mod. So you may notice that behind me there aren't actually any new features being displayed, no secret new berries added, nothing like that. So, aside from a couple of bug fixes, one of which took me, 7 weeks to get through, that one with the Vimionic Tome crashing in that very specific circumstance. Besides that, there really aren't any new major features besides this one, and that is a complete overhaul to the Vimionic Tome, and I think this thing is looking absolutely awesome. And so, I'm going to get into it here and show you what I have been working on this week, so hopefully you enjoy, and if you do make sure you leave a like on the video, and do consider subscribing if you're not already, to be notified right as soon as the next Vimion mod update comes out. But with that said, let's hop into the Vimionic Tome and talk about the new features this week. Alright, so to start off, when you first right-click on your Vimionic Tome, you're going to be greeted by a screen that looks quite a bit like this. You're going to see this little icon of a Vimionic Tome on top of a yellow background, as well as a Vimion gemstone on top of a gray little icon there. So these are objectives inside of the Vimionic Tome. And so each one of these is going to contain a little bit of a quest for you to do. Now, you can see what this quest is by just hovering over it. So, for example, this one here is called Vimion, and it says to craft a Vimion gemstone from 4 Vimionite shards. Let's go over here to this first one here, and this is actually going to be an introduction to the basics of the Vimionic Tome. And so it says to click it for a little introduction, and so we will do that. And you'll see we'll be taken to this page here. So I will just read this off here on video and, walk through everything that is new in the Vimionic Tome. So, the Vimionic Tome can be used to view information about and your progress toward various objectives within the Vimion mod. It has many useful features included for your use. These will be outlined in the following pages. First, the arrows on the bottom of each page can be used to cycle through these info pages. It's probably important to mention that first, so you'll see this arrow here, hover over it, and you can click on it to go to the next page, cycle back, etc. To exit out of this info page and return to where you were in the Vimionic Tome, just press escape on your keyboard. So I'll just press escape here, and you'll see it'll take me right back here. I'll also do that later once we unlock the Necreon achievement, just to show you that it works, and it'll take you right back to where you were. But back into here. Next up, the Vimionic Tome contains 5 chapters. These can be cycled through with the tab buttons on the side of the objective view. So that is these right here. These are your tab buttons. So these will take you through to the different chapters. It goes on to say that these chapters may appear empty early in the mod, but they'll slowly fill up with objectives as you progress. And this is definitely the case, as I will demonstrate here later on. Also, hovering over an objective in the objective view part of this GUI will display that objective's title and a short description of what you have to do to complete it. So this one here just says to click it, and here it says, you have to craft a Vimionite gemstone from 4 Vimionite shards. Before completing the objective, it will appear in gray. Clicking on the objective at this point will take you to an info page that will go into more detail about what you need to do to complete the objective, as well as share a little lore about it. So, if we go over here to this Vimion one and click on it, it says, the same shards that were used to craft this tome seem to want to bind together in groups of 4. Using the crafting table, it should be possible to assemble a gemstone from this new D-phase material by placing it in a 2x2 square. In fact, the shards combine so readily, even inventory crafting should work for this. So there, it goes into a little bit more detail about what exactly you have to do to obtain your Vimion gemstone and complete that quest. So after completing an objective, it will appear in gold in objective view. Clicking on it at this point will open up an info page that goes much deeper into its lore, as well as giving hints about what you should do next. So let's just demonstrate this really quick. So I'm going to head over here to my crafting table, just grab myself really quick a Vimionite shard. I'm going to fly over here to my crafting table, and we'll just craft ourselves a Vimionite gemstone. So you'll see if I open up this tome now, I've now completed this objective. It's now in gold, and 2 more have been unlocked, and we'll get to those in a minute. But we'll go in here, and you'll now see there is a whole lot more lore here about Vimion and such like that. So you can feel free to read this on your own when you download the mod. I won't go into it here. I'll save that for you. So note that you cannot complete an objective prior to completing its parent objective. This is usually the objective you had to complete before it appeared in the tome. So for example here, I could not have completed this Spirits quest before completing this Vimion quest. And I'll show you here, I've just reset my tome here in the code. There's actually no way to do that in-game right now. I will add a command for that in the future, but, there's no real reason you'd ever need to in survival mode, because you want to progress through the mod. So anyway, you'll see I've done this here. Now, the Spirits quest is completed when you craft a Vimionite dagger, and you do have to craft it. You can't just, have it in your inventory. It's not going to be that easy. So let me just grab myself a stick here, and we'll fly over to our crafting table once again, and we will just craft ourselves up a Vimionite dagger. So see, I've crafted that, and you'll see nothing has actually changed in here. So now when I do go and craft this gemstone, you know, there's no way I could have gotten the dagger without getting the gemstone. And so in that way, you make sure that you're just progressing in the right order. You have to complete a parent objective before you can complete that objective. Now you'll see if I go over here, and I'm going to need myself another stick. But you see I have this stick here, and I go up here like this. I can craft myself a Vimionite dagger just fine. So there you go. Now that one there is going to be completed, and again, it's going to show a lot more lore. And finally here it just says, for example, you can complete the craft and Necronite gemstone objective before completing the craft and advanced geologic phaser one. So, you'll see here that these pages are still appearing empty. Well, we can change that here. All you're going to have to do is craft yourself up a geologic phaser, which if you have JEI, you'll be able to see how to do that. I would really recommend running JEI alongside my mod, by the way. It's almost dependent on it, although it will explain in the tome. In fact, I will just demonstrate that before I actually craft this. It will display here. One of our first ideas for use of Vimion was to surround a geologic phaser with the gemstones in a crafting table. So there, that's how you craft yourself a advanced geologic phaser. It just says right there in the tome. And now you'll see it's done, and it'll go into a lot more detail and lore about it. But you'll see now that I've completed this one, it has now opened up these different quests here. And so far, these are going to actually be all of the quests that are available right now in the mod. Unfortunately, this GUI took way longer to get ready than, you know, I was counting on, and so I do want to get the mod version out this week. So, in next week's update, I should be able to have everything caught up for objectives. So, you know, it'll include things like the new berries, it'll include things like harvesting the spirits and spawning things in with the Necronite Summoner, you know, the Nihilionite Axe, Slayeronite Pickaxe, and, you know, any other new features that come with next week's update. That should all be included inside of this tome here. So it will really be a great guidebook to get you through the mod. But even here, this is enough to get you good and started with it and to explore it. So yeah, with that said, that is actually all that there's going to be for this update. So if you did enjoy, please let me know by leaving a like on it. You know, I put a lot of work into this Vimion mod. And of course, your support means the world to me when I am, you know, pouring so much of my time into this. So I do appreciate that, and do consider subscribing if you're not already to continue to get updates about the Vimion mod right as they come out. But with that said, I want to thank you again for watching. This has been Mushroom Man Toad, and I will see you in the next one.